I just kind of wanted to say that, like, this is probably the best video to kind of make this announcement, because I made a, like, education, or I spoke about my education in one of my previous videos. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's really kind of boring, but whatever. So, this is, like, and I feel like I haven't really been able to enjoy it because, like, I kind of, after I got my GED. So, like, after I got my GED, I kind of, like, went into this spell of depression for, like, a couple of weeks, and, like, it was hard for me to get out of that, but, like, now I'm out of it, and now I want to get back into, like, my hobbies, like skating, hula hooping, and YouTube, and, like, I really haven't had any great ideas, and this is why I haven't been posting like any of you care, but, like, if you do, like, that's the reason. And and so I was watching this chick's video the other day about her embarrassing stories, and I'm like, well, I don't think I get embarrassed very often. Most of my younger years or high school years or whatever, it's more of, like, tragedy and depression. So, and, like, at the same time, like, I've grown up from it, and I just kind of want to say that, like, I don't have any animosity or anger towards these people. Like, you know, it's in the past, it's something that happened, and we're moving on. Here are some of my high school horror stories. I should have probably wrote these down. The few first stories were actually in middle school. One of the first ones is that, like, I was still, like, in middle school and high school, I think those are the times when you're actually trying to find yourself and, like, kind of put your personality together and, like, understand what you like and dislike or whatever. So, like, I was at the age where I was kind of, like, getting into makeup, and, like, I wanted to wear makeup because my friends were wearing makeup, because, like, I grew up with brothers. It was like I really didn't have anybody to kind of show me how to do those things and be girly. In middle school, there was a time when one of my friends, who I thought, never mind. One of my friends was putting makeup on me and did my eyeliner, and I was at a Christian school. This was in middle school. I was in 6th grade, and my friend does my whole face of makeup, I think it was, and she did eyeliner. And when I got back into class, because, like, each grade has their own room, it's not like you go to different rooms for different subjects. It's like your grade has one room that you go to, and you learn all the subjects in that one room. So after we, like, got back from lunch or break or recess or whatever it was, like, we went back to the room, and my teacher saw my makeup, and she was like, go wipe that off. Like, and mind you, the person that did my makeup was wearing as much makeup as she put on me. There wasn't any difference on the amount of makeup that she was wearing compared to the amount of makeup she put on me. I really didn't understand that at the time, and I still don't really understand why my teacher would be like, oh, go wash that makeup off, you look like a streetwalker, or whatever she said. I think it's because, like, I'm not a makeup person, so, like, she saw me when I wasn't wearing makeup compared to when I was, so, like, I think she was comparing it to, like, Brandy without makeup with Brandy with makeup. Like, I think that was the thing. My next story is kind of around the same people that I was hanging out with in 6th grade. Like, and this is not really a tragedy. This is kind of like, it was kind of shocking to me, I guess. Like, my parents just went through a divorce or whatever, and, like, I was really upset about it. And so I was telling my friends, who I thought were my friends, and maybe I offended them or something, I don't know, but, like, in my world was crashing down. Like, it was something that I was unfamiliar with. Like, you know, I never experienced this before. I was telling my friends that my parents were separating and getting a divorce and blah blah blah, and, like, the one my one friend, I still remember her name, and like my one friend, she was like almost kind of like, you know, it happens all the time. Like, people get divorced. It's a part of life. Like, this is America. Like, you know, kind of that attitude. She didn't say all that, but like, I think she had that attitude where it's like something that is common, and like, I shouldn't be as upset that my parents were getting a divorce as I was. This next story is kind of quick and simple. Like, I got hit in the face. It wasn't even a tennis racket. It was one of those, like, the thinner ones, the thinner rackets. I got hit in the face with one of those rackets, and then I had to go to the nurse's office. Another thing that happened in middle school is I got picked last for flag football. I was kind of a really, like, I was a really weird kid in school. I was really just trying to figure out who I was and like where I fit in. I think those were all the things that happened in middle school as far as I know. One of the like first things that I can remember that happened to me in high school was my brother and I, because we both, you know, came from the same background or like grew up with each other and did the same things, what, you know, what have you. So we sat next to each other on the bus, and this guy, I think he knew my brother. I think that's why he said what he said, and just kind of wanted to embarrass my brother, but it kind of like embarrassed me and like hurt me, or like it kind of hurt that my brother, like, so what happened was this guy, he like turns around like in the seat and he's like, so are you guys a couple? He's like, so are you guys a couple? And then he like as far as I can remember, he turns back around and like just sits down. My brother might have said no and like got snooty with him or something, and then the person turns around and blah blah, and then my brother turns to me and is like, you're sitting by yourself tomorrow. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? In high school, I think my brother already graduated, or he wasn't around very often as I can remember when I was in high school. I think he was trying to do his own thing and I was trying to do my thing and blah blah blah, and like ever since that situation on the bus, I think that we were just kind of like trying to go separate ways and be individual people. Like, I can remember like at least 2 different times in high school where I had food thrown at me, and I know a lot of people now that know me in real life are like, you're the sweetest person ever, like who would hate you or whatever, and like, you know, there have been people that have really taken offense to my weirdness and really have not been quite as accepting of me as people do today. So I just kind of want to make that known, because I feel like people don't always see that side of me, and like I kind of want to show that, because like I haven't really always been the person that you see, if that makes sense. So like I've gotten food thrown at me a couple of times, and this one specific time, because this one specific person seemed to have kind of targeted me because I think I liked his friend or something, and like I was kind of really weird. Like I was really weird. I gave this person like a handwritten letter, and then like one of those high school pictures, like the school pictures, I put my picture in the card and like gave it to him. And like I see now, like I thought it was a good idea at the time. I was like, oh, he'll want a picture of me. Oh my gosh, I'm so pretty. Like, not really. Like I didn't think that I was pretty. Like I have never really thought I was like actually textbook pretty, if that makes sense. But like I just I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I really don't. So I think that's why the other person, his friend, didn't really like me, because I was just really super weird to his friend. And like, maybe his friend didn't like me either. And maybe that's why he was like feeling like he was like standing up for his friend. But I think the one dude that my high school enemy in high school or whatever, I don't want to say his name because I'm trying to get an interview with him. And my high school enemy, like the top dog enemy, top guy or whatever, I think he did not like me because I guess I liked his friend or whatever, and two, because I think he thought I was a poser. And like, being a poser was the most hated thing that you could be in high school, because like everybody, like that name was thrown around so much. I heard it so much, like, oh, you're a poser, you don't really like that band, like, you know. And I saw this guy, my high school enemy, I saw him, my high school bully, whatever, and I saw him at a concert in Orlando. I think it was Orlando or Tampa. I think it was Orlando, but I saw him at this at this concert or whatever, and I heard him. I heard him say, "Call me a poser." Because it was for this band called the Blood Brothers, and I think, again, I was in high school, I was trying to find out who I was, or whatever, so I was, because, like, the grunge type, rock, alternative, I don't even know what you would call it, like, that genre was so popular around the people that I was hanging out with, that I kind of wanted to be a part of, like, and if that makes me a poser, I guess I'm a poser. But I went to this concert with my friend, and I was so taken back. I didn't even know that he was gonna be there, and like, so he was there and he called me a poser, and that was it. With my high school bully, like, there got a point in time where I was so fed up with him throwing stuff at me, with him calling me names or calling me poser, whatever he did. I can only remember like a handful of times now of things that he did to me. So I don't, and I kind of don't know if it was him specifically that did these things, or if it was his friends that were doing these things and I just chalked it up to it was him. I don't know, and I don't know if I'll ever know, but there was a point in time, like, my breaking point, I just wanted things to stop, and so I told on him. And so I went to the principal's office, or somebody's office, one of my guidance counselors or somebody, and I told on him, and I thought I was just gonna tell on him, and then I was gonna leave, and they were gonna give him detention or in-school suspension or whatever it was. But no, that's not how things go. I was sitting in there, and I guess they called him and they got him out of class. They had him come down to the office, and I was sitting in the office, and then he comes in and sits down in the office, and like, I don't remember exactly what was said. Oh, I think that because I think it was one of the times that they threw food at me, and so I think that they were asking him, did you do this, blah, 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 and I think he confessed to it, or they might have told him, be like, oh, she said that you did this, blah, 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 so you're getting detention or something. And that was really awkward because he was in the room with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can I leave? I just didn't really even want to be around him because he made my high school years like a living hell, to be honest. And like, again, I'm not mad at him. I actually follow his band on Instagram now, and he's really actually good at what he does. That's awesome. Like, do what you're good at, or do something that you're passionate about, like, you know? So I'm really trying to get an interview with him, and I don't know if that's gonna happen because I think he might be signed to a record label. So I don't know if that would look good on him if they knew that he bullied me in high school. But like, again, I don't have any anger towards him. I don't have, you know, I'm not holding grudges. Like, you know, that's just not me. I think those were all the stories that I have really had for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this brings light to you to know that I've not always been the person that you see today. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!